What's up, guys? Today we are grading Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying it is the best game Jalen Hurts has ever played, and PFF gave him a 92.9 grade. That is absurd. Now, that is an absurd grade because it's absurdly high, but it's also absurd because Jalen Hurts didn't play that well. That being said, Jalen Hurts did play well, played one of his better games. The degree of difficulty wasn't that high, but he had a few big-time throws. PFF had him with 5 big-time throws. I have him with 2. One was dropped, and one was a really, really good throw to Dallas Goedert. It's hard to forget the fumble. It's hard to remember the fact he tried to throw a pick. There were some really big gains that, he didn't actually play very well on. A touchdown to A.J. Brown that was okay, and a really deep play that led to a game-tying touchdown, which was low-key kind of bad. But I graded both as solid, and I'll explain why in the video. As usual, before we get started, let's run down the legend just to make sure that everybody's on the same page with how we grade these games. Elite throws are special. Think Josh Allen, think Patrick Mahomes on a great day. They're typically more than 30 yards downfield, and they are perfectly placed. Great throws are typically second-level throws behind the linebackers. They're catchable, but imperfect deep balls. So either a deep throw that is very catchable, but maybe the receiver had to slow down a teeny bit, or just a dart to the middle of the field. Solid throws are typically 8 to 12 yards downfield with good anticipation, or they're accurate throws on coverage bus, or they're jump balls. We'll see 2 of those today. Routine throws are checkdowns, screens, things that you expect to be completed every single time. Not much to say about them. Bad throws are just inaccurate ones, and batted balls, which we don't have any of today, those are bad too. Interceptable balls are ones that a good defensive back should pick, and that does not count balls that are tipped into one's hands, right? We had no sacks in this game, so we don't even have to go there. Throwaways, just throwaways. Positive runs are typically about 10 yards, so they gain about as many yards as a solid throw should, and I'll add bonuses if it's further than that. Neutral runs are like QB sneaks, or just about as useful as a check down. Negative runs are ones that are bad. It's a bad decision or a failed quarterback sneak or just don't gain any yards. Pocket movements, I give points when quarterbacks navigate the pocket well, and fumbles, well, it doesn't matter who recovers them, but in this one, Jalen Hurts was not the guy who recovered it. So, without further ado, let's get to some film. To start off running the ball, and that's not going to work, so they'll quickly go to the dinks and dunks, the quick passes. And this is what the Eagles have specialized at, right? Their offense has been at its best when Jalen Hurts is asked to do very little, and he executes it very well by just consistently making easy reads and easy passes. These first 2 are simple zone beaters, running across the defense, waiting for mesh points in the zones, and hitting short passes. It's really simple. Is it good that he's hitting these? Absolutely, but I'm not going to give you credit. I say it all the time, these routine plays, there's nothing wrong with them, but it's like not getting a speeding ticket. I don't give you a pat on the back for not getting a speeding ticket, but I will ream you for getting one. Now, in that last play, obviously, Jalen Hurts throws the ball out of bounds. It's a bad throw, but this is a really good run. I love the way that he tiptoes to stay in bounds. You'll see here on the tight copy, the field is pretty well covered, and rather than try to make a really tight window throw, he takes off, plenty of open space, gets to the corner, first down. Excellent. It's exactly the kind of running I like to see from a quarterback. Here, this is a solid throw. This is really good anticipation. You'll see as the receiver comes out of his break and turns around, the ball's about to hit him in the face. It's a little late. It could have been a little earlier or had a little more zip on it, but I'm certainly not complaining. And, the luxury of having Dallas Goedert, an excellent, excellent tight end, is you get to be a tad late, and it's okay. Here, Jalen Hurts does a great job of making something happen with his legs. Right here, this play, okay, the receiver's open, right? Wrong. This linebacker is in the throwing lane. So yes, you could loft it and get the ball to this receiver, but this defensive back's going to break on him. This linebacker's going to break towards him. He's going to get creamed if the ball doesn't get knocked down. So what does Hurts do? He changes the throwing lane by moving and sucking Willie Gay up, right? Willie Gay walks down towards the line of scrimmage, and Hurts just puts it over his head. Solid throw plus movement. That's really creative, and that's one of those times where you run out of a clean pocket for a good reason, right? He wasn't under pressure there. He moved to change the throwing lane. It's really intelligent. That's excellent stuff. I don't know how, but the Eagles turned Boston Scott, who's like 5'7" and a scat back, into their short yardage running back, and it sounds stupid, but it works. After a long review, it turns out this was not a touchdown, so Jalen Hurts is going to pound it in. He's the best quarterback sneaker I have ever seen. He squats 600 pounds, and it looks like it. Neutral run, because it's a quarterback sneak, but one of those things when you're doing his traits list, you got to put an addendum that says, look, he's special on short yardage runs. On to drive 2. Drive 2 is not going to be nearly as successful. Little swing pass, and that doesn't do very much. It's routine, but there's an offensive pass interference, calls the play back. 1st and 20, this drive is over. Jalen Hurts just is not like that, right? Tunnel screen, nothing. 3rd and 14, Jalen Hurts doesn't have this in his bag, right? There's room here. First of all, if you're really in trouble, you've got an outlet here and an outlet here. You should be hitting those. Instead, Jalen Hurts is going to run around and throw the ball away on 3rd and 14. It's a negative throwaway, and I'm going to show you why on the all-22. After a missed field goal, the Eagles are going to get the ball right back. Decent starting field position. And this drive's going to go a little bit better for them. It starts off with a neutral run by Jalen Hurts. This is fine. It's about what you would expect from a decent running back. It's about what you would expect on a check down. Here the Eagles are going to come out in a really cool stack position, and it's another quarterback run, and this goes nowhere. That's a negative run. I'm sure the play design looked really cool in practice, but this just didn't work at all, and the Chiefs are ready to stop Jalen Hurts from running because they don't fear him as a passer. 3rd and 4. This is unfortunate. Frank Clark jumps off sides. He tried to time it because Jalen Hurts got really late in the play clock. Right? So 3, 2, 1 second on the play clock. Frank Clark thinks he's going to get a free jump on the ball, and he gives him a 1st down. Here, I don't consider this a pass. This is not a pass. This is a handoff. Right? If your great grandma can do it, it's not a pass. 2nd and 6, nice little slant. Routine throw, ton of inside leverage. You take those all day. Frankly, I think the Eagles should have done more of that in this game. They got away from it a little bit as the game wore on, and I think that bit them in the ass. Here, however, this is a solid throw. Now I know what you're thinking. This is a gigantic touchdown. How is that a solid throw? I'll tell you exactly why it's a solid throw in a different video where I break down the all-22. You want to see the full description? You want to see the full explanation? You want to understand every inch of this play? Click the link. Otherwise, I'm moving on. Drive 4. Drive 4 is going to end tragically for the Eagles, but it looked promising enough to start. Negative run to get Kings kicked off, and a little screen pass. This is a routine throw, but I do think it's noteworthy. People have been complaining about the grass at the Super Bowl a lot, and here, unprovoked, Dallas Goedert falls down. That's not the first time or the last time that's happened in this game for Dallas Goedert specifically, and he's not exactly a clumsy fellow. So I hear those complaints. Here, this is a really good play by Jalen Hurts. First of all, 10, 11-yard gain, cool. But here's what I'm really impressed with. Immediate pressure off the edges by the 2 best defensive linemen on the Chiefs, in Chris Jones and Frank Clark. Immediate. Jalen Hurts does a really good job of breaking the pocket, rolling out, running full speed to his left, and then getting his torso around and making an accurate throw on the run. Now, Zach Pascal is going to be wide open. This is wide open. And if Jalen Hurts was standing still in the pocket, that's a very routine throw, but he's not. He's running full speed to his left, away from his arm, which is really difficult for a right-handed quarterback, and he still makes an accurate throw. That is a solid play with solid throw with 2+ moves and a really good play. I really hate that the Eagles got conservative here and started running the ball like crazy. And unfortunately, 3rd and 1, false start. Now they are backed up to 3rd and 6, and they can't just do the automatic QB sneak with the QB sneak god, which causes Jalen Hurts to fumble. Now, I say causes, but really all that caused Jalen Hurts to fumble was Jalen Hurts. He's not touched. He's just switching hands. I saw somebody saying that Jalen Hurts, I think it was Chris Sims, said Jalen Hurts panicked when he was trying to read a play and drop the ball. No, he's not. He's running from the get-go. The receivers haven't even broken their fucking stance, and he's already running. This was a run from Jump Street, and Jalen Hurts just messed up. And that happens. It's one of those plays that's so bad I almost don't want to knock him for it the way I typically would because I feel like it's never going to happen again. He dropped the ball for no reason, and I doubt that he does that again. As badly as drive 4 ended for the Eagles, they are not afraid to keep running the ball with Jalen Hurts. And here, it pays off. They get a lot of blockers in space, ton of running room for Jalen Hurts, easy first down, positive run. On first down, they're going to run almost exactly the same play they scored a touchdown with A.J. Brown, or at least a similar concept, and it's going to end very similarly, except this time they actually make a play on the ball. Now, I say it's similar because it's clearly either man or cover 4. I think it's man this time, actually, with cover 2 over the top. Clean pocket for Jalen Hurts, ton of time, and as you can see, there's a way that you can lead A.J. Brown to the sideline and complete this pass. He massively underthrows it, right? Let's see. The line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line. He's letting go from the 30, and it makes it to the 25. That is not a deep throw. This is terrible arm talent, right? 25 plus 40, 65. This is a 35-yard downfield throw. This is Mac Jones caliber arm talent. Now, this is a pickable ball. You'll note that once again, right here, at this exact second, Trent McDuffie is getting lost again. He's misplaying the ball again. He takes a false step. Instead of continuing to run outside where the ball will be, he stops and misjudges the ball. Now, Juan Thornhill, luckily, doesn't get burnt on this play like he did on the play prior. So he's going to still have a chance at this and does a really good job of getting hands on the ball. You'll see right here on this angle that Trent McDuffie, by the way, Jalen Hurts needs to gun this ball right here. If Jalen Hurts had the cerebral processing skills that a lot of people attribute to him, he would throw a gun right here, back shoulder even, stop A.J. Brown, take his 20 yards guaranteed in space, and hope that he can break something off. But he doesn't because he can't, and he doesn't think to. Again, Trent McDuffie, if you just back up a teeny bit, Trent McDuffie has outside leverage, right? So A.J. Brown is to the inside of the field. In order to get to the sideline, A.J. Brown has to go through Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie's also underneath him. So any underthrown ball that's too far outside, Trent McDuffie should at least make a play on. But again, when he turns his head and flips his hips, he gets confused and lost. When he stops to track the ball, he stops moving and gets lost. He's still ahead of A.J. Brown, but right here he fucks everything up. Luckily, Juan Thornhill's there to make a pick. Luckily for the Eagles, A.J. Brown does a really good job of playing defensive back and getting a hand in there to block it. That's a pickable ball. The Eagles are granted reprieve, and they'll get a second chance here. Imagine if the Chiefs had gotten a pick, though, and they had the ball at midfield. This game could be totally different. Could have been a blowout for the Chiefs, right? They have the tie game, easy points ahead of them before halftime. Would have been nice. Instead, Boston Scott does a really good job after a catch on a routine ball, and Jalen Hurts continues to do the I can squat 600 pounds and you can't stop me until the rules change thing. Another neutral run. Here, Lane Johnson, yet another false start. I don't care what football guys say. That's a false start. He moved before the ball did. But a routine throw and it doesn't get called. Hey, if you can cheat and not get called on it, good for you. You're good, right? Here, it's a read option, classic RG3 style, and Willie Gay is just more athletic than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts tries some cute Walter Payton, stanky leg shit. It's not going to work here. Willie Gay is too fast, and I hate that Jalen Hurts runs out of bounds instead of putting his shoulder down. That is a negative run. Here on 3rd and 7, they run inside, and I'm thinking, are you fucking kidding? But they know they got 4th down, and this shit never fails. Now, on 4th down, we immediately know, this is the broadcast angle, by the way, not the all-22. We immediately know that this is going to be man coverage. How do we know? Well, primarily because Willie Gay, middle linebacker, has walked outside to play cornerback against the running back. That's how you know that every defensive back has a man they are covering, and they are not covering zones, right? Additionally, you know because there's one safety up here on the top. He's probably going to be playing cover 1 because the other safeties walk down to man up on Dallas Goedert. So it's either insane level disguise or they are playing man-to-man with 4 down linemen and either a blitzer or a spy here at linebacker. Now, I guarantee you Shane Steichen told Jalen Hurts what to do here. We know that the mic in his helmet shuts off at 15 seconds, right? They lined up at 20 seconds for a reason. They saw Willie Gay motion out at 18 seconds. The last thing that Jalen Hurts heard out of that little speaker in his head was, Run, 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 run from Shane Steichen. Because it's man, so there's nobody to take Jalen Hurts if he runs. Now, I can tell you for a fact it's not a quarterback draw because look at the offensive line. They all back up. They're pass protecting. Look at the receivers. They're all running actual routes. Right? You got a curl. You got outbreaking routes. This is a real passing play out of empty that they turned into a run because of what the defense showed them. If the Chiefs had come out playing cover 2, that would have been a pass play. And it might have worked, who knows, but it doesn't matter because really good scheme and utilizing Jalen Hurts' athleticism turned that into a very positive run. Give him the bonus point because it went for a lot of yards and it was on 4th down. Really positive play, not necessarily because Jalen Hurts is special, but because he offers you a diverse tool set, routine throw. He's a decent runner. He's a decent passer. He lets you basically try everything. So if a defense gives you a play that is easy to execute against, he's going to take it. Here, I would have loved to see what the Eagles trotted out on 4th and 2, but unfortunately, the Chiefs jumped, and it's going to be a gimme 1st down. And right here, Jalen Hurts going to walk it in. This time, it's actually a running play. It is a straight quarterback draw. Neutral run. He's untouched. You would have to be about Tom Brady not to get in here through this hole, right? You got the wham block. The guard kicks out and just pulls and takes out the middle linebacker, and there's nobody to touch you. Easy run, neutral run, good job. On to drive 6, second half. Drive 6 is actually going to take place in the first half. My mistake. Eagles are going to have 1 minute and 20 seconds to drive the field, and they come out throwing a screen. Why do they do that? Because they don't think that Jalen Hurts is a special passer down the field. They know that they need to win with tricks and smokes and mirrors. Or do they? This is a dime. This is an absolute dime. Jalen Hurts gets a lot of shit. I'm not the happiest about his passing abilities, but his downfield ball is pretty good, and this is stellar. I know it doesn't get caught. I know. As soon as I saw it live at the Super Bowl party I was hosting, I said, he didn't catch that. He did not complete that catch because he probably bobbled it before he got his second foot down, and he certainly lost it when he hit the ground. Clear as day, but the throw was perfect. It was perfect. Let's see. He's going to let the ball go from about the 43. Line of scrimmage is the 52. 52 minus, let's call that 17. Or 52 plus 17 is 69. Nice. It's a 31-yard throw downfield. Add on the 10 for the depth he was in the pocket. It's a 41-yard throw. Now, this is not particularly deep because he does not actually have very good range. As a starting quarterback goes, Jalen Hurts has subpar arm strength when it comes to both velocity and range. But his placement is perfect here. Snead is all over this man. Devontae Smith, is wearing Jerry Snead like a backpack. But the ball is perfect, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Just like there's nothing you can do to stop Jalen Hurts on a QB sneak, even if you get hands on him before he starts moving. Because as soon as a running back starts pushing his butt like a sled, it's over. Here, Jalen Hurts is just going to get out of the pocket. Honestly, I think he could have stayed in the pocket a little longer and been okay. But he's going to throw the ball away, and it's a neutral throwaway for me. I'm not mad at it. You got 28 seconds. You're trying to conserve time. Don't force it. Don't throw to the middle of the field when you don't have to. This is a delay of game. Doesn't get called. Routine throw, however, and I don't love the decision to throw short to the middle right there, especially if you're going to throw the ball away on 1st down. Now you got to burn your timeout. You got 1 left, and you've damned yourself to a field goal. And then the Eagles basically admit as much when they throw a slant on the next play. Now, A.J. Brown does some crazy shit and turns it into a 10-yard gain and gets out of bounds. That's amazing because now the whole field's available 20 yards. But that's a routine throw, and that's the Eagles saying, we're not going to try to score a touchdown. We don't think we've got the goods. I don't know if it's bad coaching, but if you think it's bad coaching, it's because you think that the Eagles coaching staff doesn't have enough faith in Jalen Hurts. Routine throw, timeout. Again, they are forfeiting their opportunity to score a touchdown. They are promising themselves a chance at a field goal, and they get what they wanted. And now the Chiefs get the ball to start the second half. All right, real quick. It's halftime. Let's do an update on the chart. In the first half, Jalen Hurts had that one elite throw, did not get caught. He also had 4 solid throws, but he had no great throws. 13 routine throws, a bad throw, and a pickable. One of those solid throws was that 45-yard bomb touchdown, and again, if you want an explanation on why that's just solid and not better, or even why it wasn't bad or pickable, which some of you certainly think it was, click the link on the screen right now. He also had that fumble, which was terrible. Overall, I give this half a very low B-. He was accurate on 90% of his passes, but 63% of his plays were cheap plays. QB sneaks and checkdowns, screens, etc. He didn't take any sacks, but he did have a negative throwaway, and he did get lucky with a ball that should have been picked. It's tough because, only half of his mistakes cost him. The fumble cost him big, but the pick didn't cost him anything. And one of his solid plays got production like it was an elite play, but one of his elite plays got dropped. So, very confusing, messy half of football. Overall, I look at it like this. He had 25% positive plays, which is slightly above average, and he had 15.5% negative plays, which is substantially fewer than the average in the league. He was also accurate on 71.43% of his passes that were not pedestrian, right? So accuracy plus is a metric that I've made to kind of chart how well a quarterback plays when he's not just doing the easy shit. So the denominator, it's all of your elite, great, and solid passes divided by your elite, great, and solid passes plus the bad and pickable ones, right? So it literally just cuts out all those routine ones. And he had 71%. League average is like 43. So really good passing performance from Jalen Hurts in the first half. The fumble will hurt. Anyway, let's get back to the film. Eagles are going to come out only leading by 3 now. Little motion. Incomplete pass. Routine throw. Now, look, it was a little slower than I would like, right? If he had a little bit better zip, he could get the ball out a little quicker, and there'd be a lot more space for Kenneth Gainwell. Or, no, that's Miles Sanders. Doesn't matter. It's an incomplete pass. It's not a fumble. It's kind of Jalen Hurts' fault, like a teeny bit, but I'm not going to splice hairs here. It's a routine ball. It was accurate. It was just too slow. I can't kill him for that. Routine throw to start the second half, and another routine throw, just another inbreaker to A.J. Brown. They're starting to lean on him, which, as this game goes on, they show less and less confidence in Jalen Hurts, and I don't know if that's fair, because he actually played pretty decent. Like right here, this is a great throw, right? Line of scrimmage is the 30. For some reason, he's 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's not good. But he makes a very accurate throw into very tight coverage. Now, it's not the best IQ. It's not the best processing here. Right? There are other receivers that are more open and, throw this ball to Devontae Smith right here. Much easier completion, and he's got leverage. If the ball's out quick enough, he's going to get a lot of yards after the catch. But instead, he makes an amazingly accurate throw. It's a great throw. It's borderline elite. And considering the fact that it was only about 10, 12 yards downfield, that's impressive. But alas, back to the routine stuff. They are trying to make life easy on him, and I think it's because they don't trust him. Again, they split the field in half. It's a high-low read. He is rolling out. There is one guy going parallel with him. If it's man coverage, you bait him and run. And if it's zone, you run or throw it away. So that's a neutral throwaway. That was what the play called for. There's Lane Johnson false starting very obviously again. Nobody believes he's not false starting. I'm sorry. There were too many people who are supposed to be smart that are like, oh, he's not false starting. Yeah, no, he fucking is. Ball has not moved. Lane Johnson just flinched. Lane Johnson is gone before the ball's out. I'm sorry. Here's a negative run. Jalen Hurts just kind of panics. Again, look at this. This is not pressure. This is not pressure. This is a very clean pocket, and there's a very easy pass right here if he wants it. You can also hit A.J. Brown on the back shoulder right here. Ton of room. Just slide left. You have no pressure. But he panics. He doesn't process well, and he takes off. This is not positive pocket movement. That is a negative run. Bad job mentally. It's only first down, though. It's not damning. Not yet, at least. Here on 2nd and 9, Hurts kind of panics again and just throws the ball up. Right? You got the blitz coming. You should have seen that beforehand. It's miraculously the Chiefs ran a lot of 4-3 in this game, and I thought they would run none. I thought it'd be all nickel. They were daring the Eagles to pass the ball deep. They said, we're going to line up with linebackers and defensive linemen, and we're going to stop you because you can't pass. And right here, receivers open, wide open on the top of the screen. Hurts doesn't try to hit him, instead goes for something a little shorter, throws off his back foot because he's panicking at a blitz. It's a bad job by him, but a good throw. I'm going to call it great, but I could understand if you wanted to call it bad. Let's watch it one more time. This is tough to catch. You got a third receiver in Quez Watkins jumping to try to make this catch. It was catchable. It wasn't very good. I think that the best way to grade it is to call it solid instead of great. Just because it was the equivalent of a jump ball. And it was deep downfield. It wasn't the right read. The right read was the player at the top of the screen, the wide receiver on the left. He didn't throw it there. Now, the condensed broadcast is not going to show us this play. This is a great throw. Let me show you the all-22 so you can understand why. This play is going to be crazy, and I got to show you this before we get to the Goddard play. A.J. Brown's at the top of the screen as the wide receiver. He's off the line of scrimmage, but he's going to be the primary running a streak. Quez Watkins out of the slot down at the right side of the offensive line is going to run a deep over like this, and Devontae Smith on the backside is going to run a deep dig. What makes it crazy is that the Chiefs are going to come out playing cover 0. So it looks like a basic cover 2 front. No. Everybody's blitzing. Trent McDuffie from the slot, blitzing. Linebackers, blitzing. You're going to have outside cornerbacks and safeties running man coverage everywhere else. What does that mean? All your deep receivers are kind of open. This is exactly what you wanted, right? The offensive line holds up beautifully, and A.J. Brown's wide open right off Jump Street. Like, lead him, and this is an easy touchdown. It would not require an elite throw for a touchdown. A great throw is a touchdown. A solid throw is a gain of 40. This is a missed opportunity, frankly. I don't know why he's staring down Quez Watkins. Maybe it's because he knows that he's got a very fast player on Juan Thornhill, who is a safety. But that is myopic. Here, you see Devontae Smith break into his dig. You also see Quez Watkins start to separate a little bit on his over, and you see the cornerback catch up to A.J. Brown, who was begging for the ball just a second ago. Now, again, look at Devontae Smith being just wide the fuck open. That was the second best read. The best read is A.J. Brown when he was clean on a streak. This is the third best read, and it's a pretty good throw. It would have been really tough to catch. I could totally understand if you want to call that bad, because it took a dive, and even still, it was a fingertip grab. I'll call it solid, but know that I kind of want to call it bad. On to the Goddard play. Now, the condensed game decided we didn't need to see one of the best plays of the game, so we're going to the all-22. Here, Jalen Hurts drops back, and it's one read, right? He looks at one dude on 3rd and long. It is Dallas Goedert from the start. As you can see, the Chiefs are very clearly in a base cover 2, right? They've got 2 safeties over the top, and they've got 5 defenders taking the middle area of the field, that second level. This means that the whole play is going to come down to, can Cook, the rookie safety, and Algerius Sneed, this cornerback right here, a very, very good corner, team up to knock this ball down. If they do, it's probably game over. Spoiler alert, they don't. So you can see Algerius Sneed thinks that this ball is going to come out with more zip, so he's still playing back towards the middle of the field, trying to play on Goddard rather than understanding that Hurts has a weak arm and is going to be leading him because he needs time. Also note that this is a wildly deep 15-yard drop back. It did not need to be that way. That's Hurts. That's not the offense. That is a negative, and that's why I usually grade plays on how far downfield they are, because quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, and in this case, Jalen Hurts, love dropping back exceptionally deep. It's usually a height thing, but in this case, it's just Jalen Hurts being strange for no reason. It's not helpful. Now, Algerius Sneed made a bad play on the ball, but look at that ball placement. It is outside leverage. It is just underneath enough that James Cook can't kill him. I think that's Cook's first name. Brian Cook. Brian Cook can't kill him because it's underneath leverage. and Algerius Sneed can't quite get to it because it's not that underneath. He's still got to jump. Really good placement. Even if Hurts made this job harder on himself by backing up too far in the pocket, even if Hurts' lack of velocity made this throw difficult, even if Algerius Sneed helped him out by biting when he shouldn't have. Let's go to the tight copy and you'll just see how accurate that ball was placed, because this is a great throw. So I want you to note that the line of scrimmage is about the 52, 53, and just look at how far he backs up. But it's just a great ball. The Eagles get the catch after the challenge. It all holds up. It's all good. And they keep running. Again, they keep running the ball. And I don't understand quite why. The Chiefs are daring you to run the ball. Additionally, on 3rd and 1, this blows my mind. They can't stop Jalen Hurts on the unstoppable QB sneak play. Why are you pitching it out wide? Why are you daring their fast linebackers to float downfield and get a stop? So now it's 4th and 1 because of a bad play call I didn't like. And I love Sirianni. I love Shane Steichen. That was dumb. But you can do dumb shit when Jalen Hurts is going to continue to do the I can squat 600 pounds play. Neutral run. He can squat 600 pounds. It's that easy. Eagles are having a really hard time getting the snap off in time. Like, they are really pushing it every damn time. And here, I graded this play like a throwaway. It's plus pocket movement from Hurts to get away. I think that he left a lot of meat on the bone. He could have turned that upfield for about 10 yards if he had a little bit of appetite for risk of getting hit. But it's first down. I understand it. I'm not going to dock him with a negative run. We'll just call it a throwaway. A mobile throwaway, right? Here, this is a tunnel screen to Dallas Goedert, right? Everybody's running upfield. They're trying to catch him. This ball's a little... So, again, I mentioned earlier, the sod was apparently bad, and Dallas Goedert does slip, right? He slips right here. But this ball is also way too far afield. Like, it's to the point where if Goedert did catch that ball, he is either going to run in front of his lineman, obviating the screen, or he is going to get fucking clotheslined by his lineman. So that's a bad throw, even if Goedert doesn't slip. It needed to be way closer to where Goedert originally started, and it needed to get out a little quicker. It's a bad throw, and it looks worse because Goedert slipped, and that's not on Hurts, but the timing and the placement was on Hurts. Here, just another drag route, just trying to wait until long developing short routes, crossover zones, and make things easy on Hurts. Routine throw, and another instance of the Eagles just not trusting their passing game. And there's only one reason they wouldn't. Their blocking has been great. Their receivers are sick. It's Jalen Hurts. They don't trust him. And frankly, I wouldn't until this game, because he played a lot better than usual in this game. One more time. Already 5 yards back, and then another 5 big steps. It is a 12-yard drop back, and that ball is just played so well. That ball is placed very well. That's a great throw. On 3rd down, no less, great throw. We're in the 4th quarter, and the momentum is completely swung. The Chiefs are going to win this game now, and it's becoming massively apparent. On 1st down, little play action. Hurts does a really good job of eluding Carlos Dunlap, who is so washed, he is like your oldest t-shirt, and this ball is poorly placed. This is a bad ball. It should have been broken up. Now, yes, Jalen Hurts is on the run, and he gets 2+ movements for evading Carlos Dunlap and getting the ball out while being hit. But this ball needs to be way further towards the sideline, and if it is, Goddard's going to catch this ball running away from Chenal and at least getting 5 more yards after the catch. It's a bad throw. It gets completed because Dallas Goedert is a top 5 tight end in the NFL. That was dope. Here, more play action, and this is just totally not Jalen Hurts' fault. Running for his life, 2+ movements and a throwaway. Willie Gay on the blitz from the edge. Now, Hurts does not pick it up pre-snap, and he probably should have because you can see him walking down right here. Now, you might have thought he's lining up in man against Goedert. Maybe. But then you have to expect that something's happening with Nick Bolton. Instead, it's going to end up being zone or some kind of passing man, right? So, like, the linebackers just pass off whoever is in the backfield and comes out to their side. Regardless, it's a 3 and out, almost exclusively because Jalen Hurts didn't hit Dallas Goedert properly on that first throw. And just look at my boy Kadarius Toney do Kadarius Toney shit. I love Kadarius Toney. I really wish he would have gotten more involved in this game. I would have loved to see him get a bunch of gadget plays. He only got 2 touches. One was a touchdown, and one was a punt return for almost touchdown. Love to see it, and frankly, the game is over right here. This drive is going to be massively important for the Eagles. I'm pretty sure it's their last drive, and they're down 8, so they need the octopus. They need the touchdown, and they need the 2 PC. And what are they doing? There's 8.5 minutes left. They're down 8, and they are running the ball. Here's another neutral run by Jalen Hurts. That's 5 QB sneaks thus far. It's still unstoppable. He can still squat 600 until somebody takes out one of his legs. He's not going to be stopped. Here, Jalen Hurts bails from a mostly clean pocket, and that is a negative run. Like, if you turn the ball upfield, or if you turn yourself upfield, you can get some yards. Instead, he slows down trying to throw, and rather than throw the ball to the tight end, which is possible, he could have done that, he just walks out of bounds on first down. I don't love that. I really don't love that. You could grade it like a mobile throwaway, right? Like a running throwaway, but I thought that was a bad decision. And here, this is a routine throw, just another RPO type play. Ton of inside leverage on the slant with a big-bodied wide receiver. Nothing to it. 3rd and 5, they do the exact same thing, just a simple slant. Anybody can throw this, and frankly, both wide receivers are open at the same time. It didn't matter who he picked, as long as the placement wasn't terrible, it was getting caught. Very routine, very simple. That's just what happens when you have awesome players. Now here, this is this is a coverage bust. So I'm going to show you the all-22 to see how this happened. I'm grading this as solid. Very bad placement, massively underthrown. Honestly made this much harder on Devontae Smith than he should have. You'll see here, he's wide open. Keep the ball in bounds, man. He hardly does. He leads him right out of bounds. If he just keeps him in bounds, it doesn't even have to be in stride. If that ball is a foot closer to the center of the field, it is a touchdown. We're still going to grade it as solid. He took advantage of a bust. And here he has the neutral run for a touchdown. That is his sixth QB sneak neutral run. Unreal. He also had another neutral run earlier on like an actual run. And here, another neutral run. No, that's not a neutral run. That's a positive run. Come on, he broke 2 tackles. That was dope. Good job, Jalen Hurts, to tie the game up. Really good run. Unfortunately, I think your day is over. Let's get to the all-22 real quick on that Devontae Smith play, because I think that it's important to show you why the fuck this happened. Because, honestly, if the Chiefs had just blocked it upright, I don't think that the Eagles ever tie this game. This play is already a mess from the start. The Chiefs are having a really hard time getting lined up. Now, I believe that this is going to be cover 4 out of nickel, right? You got 1 linebacker, 2 linebacker, 4 down linemen. You've got 4 cornerbacks and 2 safeties. So the reason I think that it's cover 4 is because you've got this deep safety in kind of a quasi-single high, but he's not committing to anybody, and until eventually he chooses to come down on Zach Pascal here. Additionally, you've got this clover, and as I explained in an earlier video this week on this very game, anytime you see 3 underneath defenders like this, in this clover pattern, it signifies cover 4, because you've got 4 defenders, these guys right here, all going deep, and these 3 dividing the intermediate level into thirds. This is, ironically, this defensive play is specifically tailored to stop deep throws, but Algerius Sneed here makes a grievous mistake. He sees Zach Pascal wide open, and he doesn't see the safety coming down to guard him, so he panics and thinks, I have to go over there and pass Devontae Smith off to my safety. That is a terrible idea. That is a miscommunication by a really, really good corner, mind you. Just completely misses his assignment, and it leads to an easy touchdown. Now let's watch it one more time, now that we know exactly what everybody's going to do. Devontae Smith's on the streak, and nobody covers him. Now, this ball is terrible. It could so easily be a touchdown. But, basically, Jalen Hurts made the deal with the devil, saying, I'll underthrow it by 10 yards. My receiver will have a really easy time of getting to the ball. Now, it might be defended really well. He might be in a little bit of trouble in that regard, but the coverage is broken, so he's at least going to have a very good chance of catching it, and I might restrict his yards after the catch. Now, the reason I kind of want to knock this play is because the ball is so close to leading Devontae Smith out of bounds. Like, it's very difficult for him to get both feet down. If that ball is even remotely close to being in bounds, it is an easy touchdown, so it is solid. But know that I'm being nice. Let nobody say that I was mean to Jalen Hurts in this game. I was generous. The Chiefs are going to drive down the field ever so slowly, and the Eagles are going to have one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. And there's no pressure. There's no reason for any confusion, and Jalen Hurts just has a weak-ass arm. Ball's let go from the 30. Clean pocket, crow hop and all, and it gets to the 20. It is 50 yards, and that is everything he had in his body. It's a weak arm. What are you going to do? We don't typically grade Hail Marys, but that was so bad and so indicative of what he's working with. I'm tempted to throw him a bad throw anyway. I won't, because I'm being very generous. Without further ado, let's get to the charts. So one of my main takeaways from watching every snap of this game with you guys is that the Eagles did a lot of work to try to take things off Jalen Hurts' plate. They didn't want to see him throw downfield that much. They didn't want to see him try to transcend things. They didn't want to put the game on his shoulders. They wanted to give him a lot of really easy plays, as evidenced by the 63.64% cheap plays. Now, what the fuck is a cheap play? A cheap play is a check down. It is a quarterback sneak. It is something simple, something easy that anybody can run. Jalen Hurts had a lot of them. He had 20 routine throws and 8 neutral runs. Now, 6 of them were quarterback sneaks, and those are really helpful. But for the most part, he wasn't doing a lot of great stuff. Typically, I believe you win football games by having a quarterback that throws accurately down the field and avoids interceptions. They didn't ask him to throw downfield. Now, he did. He had one elite throw to Devontae Smith, and it was dropped. It was almost caught, but after review, it was dropped. And they had 3 great throws. He had the one throw to Dallas. He had 2 throws to Dallas Goedert, actually, that were very, very good. I call them great. PFF had him with 5 big-time throws, which are like, I consider their big-time throws either my elite throws or some of my great throws. You add up all the great throws and the elite throw, I don't see 5. I see 4, maybe. The 2 throws to Goddard were both great. I could see those being big time. The elite throw that was dropped, I could see it being big time. The throw to Quez Watkins in the, on that slot fade, I could see it being great, but I think it's solid. I also believe that he should have been picked off one time. That jump ball to Juan Thornhill and Trent McDuffie and A.J. Brown. Trent McDuffie fucked up again. Had a terrible game playing the ball. But Jalen Hurts got away with that one. The fumble he certainly didn't get away with. Overall, I give him a B. I had him accurate on 87.9% of his aimed passes. That's really, really good. League average is 72. I had Jalen Hurts at 21.8% positive plays, which is a little lower than the league average, which is about 24% of plays. And I had him at 18% negative plays, which is almost 10% lower than the 28% average amongst starting quarterbacks for negative plays. So while Jalen Hurts might not have produced as many positive plays as an average NFL quarterback would have on a per-play basis, they played a very safe style of game, as we just mentioned, and he avoided those negative plays. So I don't blame him for that. I think he did exactly what the coaches wanted him to do. I also think that he was particularly accurate on downfield throws. The league average for accuracy plus, this stat that I made up, is 42%. Now, accuracy plus is accuracy percentage, but you strip out all the routine throws. So it's just your positive throws divided by all of your non-routine throws. Right? So he had 9 positive throws out of 13 non-routine throws. That's good for 69.2%, and it's really good. I mean, hell, his season average on accuracy plus is 40%. So he knocked it out of the park. This was an uncharacteristically good game for him when he was asked to do difficult things. He just wasn't asked to do difficult things very often. Now, I gave him a B. I could see a B-, but I'm going to be a little generous because it was a big game and he did everything he needed to do to keep it close. This game was so close to being an A performance, though. He threw that pickable into double coverage. If he spikes that ball, heck, if he throws that ball 5 yards further to the sideline where A.J. Brown can make a real play on it, that goes away. If he simply doesn't switch hands and doesn't fumble 6 for no reason at all. You just take away those two very negative plays that were so easy to fix. All of a sudden, his slugging goes up by about 5 points, and he's at almost a 10 slugging score. That's almost as good as Patrick Mahomes. So those are two really negative plays that really hampered him and could have so easily been avoided. I thought Jalen Hurts played much better than I thought he would in this game, but I also think that this game shows you a lot of why he's not a great quarterback. He played one of the best games of his career. It wasn't the best game of his career, but certainly one of the better games he's played all season, against a pretty decent defense in Kansas City. They dared him to throw. He threw well enough. I gave him a B. Now, PFF gave him an A+ effectively, and I think that that's ludicrous. I don't understand what they saw. We went through every play. I thought he was pretty good, but I think that's damning because he's never going to have a better offensive line. He's probably not going to have better receiving options, and the Chiefs aren't a great defense, and the best he can do is give you a B with 2 turnover-worthy plays that could have been absolutely crippling if he didn't get lucky on one of them. The best he can do is 2 floater, wounded duck jump balls to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith that both ended up manifesting themselves in touchdowns, but so easily could have been much, much worse if Trent McDuffie had simply played the ball better, or if Algerius Sneed had simply matched up on his man the way he was supposed to rather than getting clever. With that, that's all I got for you in this video, but I'm certainly not done breaking down film. I intend to do Patrick Mahomes a little bit later this week, and all summer, I'm going to be doing games and quarterback breakdowns, summarizing what we saw this year. In the meantime, I'll even be doing a bunch of draft videos, starting with the quarterbacks, because I know that's what sells, right? Everybody wants to see those quarterbacks. If you like this stuff, I would love it if you liked and subscribed. I also can't monetize these every snap breakdowns because it's copyrighted material. However, all of my shorter videos that are about 1 or 2 plays that include only all 22, I can monetize those. So head on over there and, try to build this revenue up. I would love it if this could become a real part-time job for me. All the support is massively important. It is so encouraging, and frankly, it's why I spend hours a week making these videos when I could grade these games in 20 minutes without walking you through them. Until next time, I'll be grinding Patrick Mahomes film. Hasta.